Damn. I mean, props to that Walden guy for going out in the traditional Rainbow Factory fashion, I guess. But still, that's just...
Yeah. Kinda fucked with all of our heads now that I think about it.
That explains why Old Man Mordecai is still here, I guess.
Yep. From that day on, he's been serving as head of interrogation.
Seems fitting, given the reputation he used to have in the city back in the day.
So, what happened next? Who was responsible for killing the previous boss? What did Rags do to them? What...
Holding another little gossip session, are we, Jeremy?
Well, you know me, sir.
All too well, I'm afraid. Walden's been keeping tabs on you three for the past 45 minutes or so. I think it's high time you got back to work, wouldn't you say?
Isn't that a little dangerous? You know, for a ragdoll? Smoking, I mean.
My vices are none of your concern. Now get back to work.
Do they not realize? One wrong flick of that lighter could be lethal to them.
I know. We thought it'd only be a temporary habit. But,
I thought you said that Walden guy was dead. Or is there another Walden that was hired here that they could be referring to? Doesn't seem like it's all that common of a name.
you guys probably know him by another name. 2.0.
I cannot believe you're lumping me into this.
Hey, I ain't exactly happy about this neither. But since you went and passed up a chance to say something at Walden's funeral, maybe you can redeem yourself in other ways.
What difference would it make? Wally's gone. And since you insist on remaining at the factory with your little ragdoll, friend, kid, whatever you want to call them, I guess there's nothing left for me except work and myself.
Look, Walls, I'm trying to help you out here. You might have missed a chance to make amends with Wally, but you got an in-law and a grandkid that just might let you in if you keep working at it. I know you're angry. I am too. It don't do anyone any good to sit here and dwell on it. You might as well take it and use it to do something productive.
I guess.
Huh? What in the world?
Is that?
Now what in the hell are those two doing all the way out here? Jeannie? Dakota?
Oh, thank goodness!
Hello, Kai. On your way up to the factory too, I take it?
Yeah. How long have the two of you been looking for?
We left the house the moment we heard the news. We'd already be at the factory if it wasn't for some people getting us turned around.
Hey, you've seen one lonely dirt road winding uphill, you've seen them all.
Don't tell me. Really, Jeannie? Without any shoes?
Come now, Mordecai, you know I don't believe in shoes.
You know, you could have just given me a call. I would have given you a lift.
Well, he tried to call you. Your butler said you were out on some important business, so I figured that meant you had either already gone up to the factory or that something came up with work.
Well, go ahead, hop in my car. I'll drive you the rest of the way up.
Oh? No chauffeur this time around?
Nope, no ever again. You're looking at the new head of investigation for the Rainbow Factory.
Head of investigation, huh? What kind of department is that?
The kind that looks into incidents within the factory that could be deemed suspicious. That's all I'm allowed to say.
Typical.
So, this simply wasn't just an accident, was it, Kai?
No, it ain't. It's some foul play with a capital F. And Ragsy. It hurts my heart seeing him so distraught.
Just how bad is it?
It's pretty bad, Dakota. And with Walden gone and culprits to find, I'm afraid the trouble's only just beginning.
Oh, if only we could get a hold of Tom Tom. I know they'd be able to find a way to help.
I don't think getting Tom Tom involved will be of much help here. Knowing how they Ragsy usually get on, they probably just make the situation worse.
Be honest with us, Kai. Has Rags stooped to going plush yet?
Not yet. We've been doing everything we can to try and prevent it. Keep them talking, keep them present. We can't keep them going like this forever. Sooner or later, they're gonna have to be left alone. And when that happens, well...
They'll get through it, right? I mean, they still have Leon. And their puppet friends. They just need a little time to grieve, that's all.
Dakota, sweetie, you know it's not as simple as just that. Or have you already forgotten about what happened to Avery?
No, I haven't. I just don't want to see Rags end up like that.
What about you, Wallace? What do you make of all of this?
Sorry. I'm afraid you lost me at plush.
It's a ragdoll thing. You wouldn't get it.
Alrighty. Now, don't be surprised if security gives you all a hard time about being let in. I told them I'd be bringing Walls up with me. I don't think they'll be expecting the two of you.
Oh, don't worry. We got it covered.
Oh, thank goodness you're back.
Sally?
We need your help. Something's wrong with Rags.
Mordecai? How are they?
Not good. Looks like you jinxed us, Dakota.
You mean they?
They've gone plush on us.
And, what exactly does plush mean?
It's basically like locked-in syndrome, but for ragdolls. They're alive, they're still conscious and aware of what's going on around them, but they can't move, speak, or make facial expressions.
Yeah. Y'all know how Ragsy tends to go limp whenever they stressed out, alright? This is like that, but it's worse.
They'll be alright though, won't they? I mean, if it's just like going limp to them, then they're bound to snap out of it at some point, right?
If only it were that simple.
What do you mean?
I tried warning Walden of this before he and Rags got married. The love a ragdoll has for their partner is different from that of most beings. It's steadfast, unwavering. It cannot be won over or bought by another, and it doesn't fade, no matter how much time may pass. And since Walden was the one that took them in and gave them a name they could call their own, that just makes their bond with him that much stronger.
And because Walden is dead, and it's not like a breakup or like he went missing or anything, that bond is like a busted stitch. There's nothing holding it together now.
Bullshit. They still have Leon. Adopted or not, that's Rags and Wally's kid. There's no way Rags would just give up and block them out like that. I mean, he's pretty much their entire world.
He might be the only one that'll be able to pull them out of this then. Until then, the only thing any of us can do is keep an eye on Rags and keep them comfortable.
You guys are seriously putting all of your faith in a 10-month-old baby?
Well, one of our council members has been plush for almost 2 years now. They also lost their partner. But they didn't have any kids. So that could be the reason why it's lasted so long.
Yeah. Plus, Rags still got us. Me, Poppy, Sally, Frank, Eddie, Mordecai. We all care about Rags. We're whole like family to them. I'm sure if we all pull together and give them the comfort they desperately need, they'll be back on their feet in no time. And I reckon if we can catch us a culprit or two that had a hand in Walden's death, it'll be all the better for them. What about you, Walls?
What about me?
Do you want to be there for what's left of your family or don't you?
You know I'm not exactly the most ideal person when it comes to sensitive situations like this. But I'll try. I don't think we're going to be able to make anything happen today, though.
What makes you say that?
You guys realize what today is, don't you?
That's right. It's Wally's birthday.
Oh, the bruises? I fell down one of the stairwells yesterday.
The cuts? It's a funny story, actually.
My arm? I got pissed and punched a wall.
What happened? I, fell?
The scratch? Well, you see...
Oh my! We seem to have had a peculiar uptick in worker injuries over the course of the past 72 hours or so.
Mighty strange, considering ain't nobody been doing much working since Walden passed.
Indeed. I've been able to confirm that none of our senior employees have any injuries that would indicate they played a part in this mess.
That don't mean none. Just means Wally didn't hurt him is all.
Mordecai, you don't seriously think any of Wally's friends would want to hurt him, do you?
Call it a hunch. Sure, these workers might have had a hand in it. But something smells rotten somewhere in that lot, and I don't like it.
Well, then if that's true, just promise me you'll show mercy towards them.
I'm afraid that ain't my call, Miss Partridge. I'm just a guy that's in charge of locating the bad apples in the batch and gathering evidence and information. In the end, it'll be up to Rex to decide what's to be done about them.
Well, that's a little reassuring at least. Rex cares about us all very dearly. If it does turn out to be one of the others that's involved here, I'm certain they'll show them at least some leniency.
What about the workers?
Oh, no. If any of these workers did indeed play a role in Wally's death, they'll definitely be dealt with. Swiftly and violently.
Huh. Well, I guess let's get to working time then, ain't it?
Look, I swear, this isn't what it looks like.
Is that right? And how's about you tell us how you got that nasty scratch across your shoulder?
It was an accident. I caught myself on a corner of one of the machines out on production.
Oh, really? Wolves, come here for just a sec. Yep. Looks like a perfect match to me. What about you?
You're a real bastard, you know that, Kai? But, yes, I agree.
Oh, come on now, really?
If you want a more recent example for comparison, Wally got me with its claws around 5 years back. Still got the scars to prove it.
Well, I say that scratch looks almost identical to yours, wouldn't you say? Not to mention Miss Partridge found some traces of blood and flesh caught up in Walden's claws, and tests of those samples led us right on back to you. Can't explain to us why that is? Or we can do this the hard way.
Alright, I'll sing. I was one of the workers that was involved in Walden's slaying. The scratch was made by Walden's claws. It's all true.
You son of a...
But I wasn't the guy that hit the kill switch on the extractor. Hell, I wasn't even one of the guys that got him strapped onto the table. I was just one of the people that helped pull him into the lab. That's it.
Still guilty as fuck the way I see it. And you should already know what happens to those who betray Wally and the rest of this factory.
Patience, Miss Sally. Alrighty, here's the deal. You tell us everything you know, and I might put in a good word for you when it comes time for Rex to dish out a punishment. What do you say?
We first came up with the idea to try to take down Walden around 5 months ago. We were all just tired of working ourselves to the bone every single day and fearing for our lives at the slightest offense. We thought that, because Rags was more patient and understanding, putting them in charge would be the better option.
I see. Did you also take into consideration that by killing Walden, it'd also be devastating the entire family by leaving Rags widowed and the son Leon without a father?
Do you think that Walden had the same kind of consideration for any of us? We knew we were going to be breaking a few hearts in our mission to take out Walden. But I think most would agree that he got what was coming to him.
So how many of you were there then in total?
In total, about 15 of us. We sent one guy to lower Walden into the lab while the rest of us were in charge of grabbing and subduing him. It took maybe 8 or 9 workers to get him onto the table. And, of course, only one guy to hit the button on the control panel.
You're right there, Wolves.
I'm sorry, I need a minute.
Are you able to confirm that all the individuals that were brought in from the infirmary were also involved in Walden slaying?
Yes. Candace and Mark and one other person were also involved. They just didn't have any injuries.
And who would the third person be?
I can't tell you.
We had a deal. You tell us everything you know, and we put in a good word for you to Rags.
Sorry, Sally. But I'm afraid yours isn't the only bargain I have to hold up.
Fine then. Let's take this one back to the sales.
Wait. I can tell you this much. It's one of the senior staff members.
I knew it.
Wait. Mordecai, wait up. You don't seriously believe that, do you?
I suspected as much from the very beginning. Matter of fact, there's only one of y'all that ain't got an ironclad alibi.
Huh? You don't mean Eddie, do you? Come on, Eddie's like the sweetest person in this whole factory, aside from Poppy. So, he was still working around the time of Wally's death. It's like Frank said. Eddie wouldn't even hurt a fly, much less someone he considered a friend.
I hear what you're saying, Miss Sally. But believe me when I say that some of the sweetest folk out there, and turn out to be some of the most deceitful out there too. Until we can say beyond the shadow of a doubt that he wasn't involved here, that one is our number one suspect.
Look, I swear this is all just a big old misunderstanding.
Is that right? Let's start from the top then. Just where were you between the hours of 10 and 4 the night that Wally was killed?
I was in the mailroom sorting through the day's ingoing and outgoing mail. I clocked out at around 1, locked up the mailroom for the rest of the night, and I went straight to my and Frank's dorm room, changed into my pajamas, and went to bed.
I see. And is that the time you'd normally begin out of work?
Well, no. Normally I begin off around about midnight or so. I was late due to a mix-up in some of the envelopes.
A likely story. And did you happen to see Wally at all at night while you were working?
I did, yes. He stopped by the mailroom briefly to check in on me.
Oh, yeah? Go on.
He looked pretty tired. He always looks tired when he's working late. Come to think of it, he looked tired most of the time. But this night especially, he seemed pretty out of it. It was just a little after midnight when he checked in.
Alrighty. Do you know if he was clocked out around that time?
I don't know. I don't think so, considering he headed back towards his office afterwards. But I can't really say for certain.
I want you to take a look at these photos here real quick. Any of these guys look familiar to you?
I mean, they all look kinda familiar. I think I recognize them from when they come by to pick up their mail or send a letter.
Is there anything at all you're able to tell me about them? Do y'all get on well? They tend to cause you any grief? Tell me.
Well, I know they tend to be pretty chummy with one another, seeing as they're all workers, but I don't interact with them a whole hell of a lot.
Mr. Deere, allow me to level with you here for just a moment. You strike me as a, particularly vulnerable individual. You know, someone that tends to be pushed around and taken advantage of a lot. And sometimes folk like that are easily manipulated into doing something they wouldn't ordinarily do. If you have any information about these workers here, or have associated yourself with them in any way, now's the time to let me know. 'Cause if it comes out later that you did know something about what happened in the hours leading up to Wally's death, I'm not the only one you'll have to answer to.
Well, then, I'm afraid there ain't a whole lot more I can offer you. Sorry, Mordecai.
Very well, then. You're dismissed. I'll let you know if I need anything more from you.
Right then.
Well, Judge, what's the verdict?
My trigger finger itches. I really want to believe that he's just an idiot and ain't got nothing to do with this. But there's something that he ain't telling us. I'm sure of it.
If only security would let us have access to the camera footage. It would make this 100 times easier.
Yeah. There's something else I don't particularly like about all this. I mean, not allowing the head of interrogation access to security footage for the sake of an investigation? Sounds awfully suspicious if you ask me.
Yeah. They're withholding vital information from us. Regs is bound to have something to say about that if and when they come out of being plush.
Let's make that the top priority then. The sooner Regsy is up and moving again, the sooner we'll be back at business. We're back. Hey, Mordecai. And, Wallace? Got anything to report? Well, we got a pretty good idea about who's all involved here. Well, we won't know anything for certain until we get a good look at the cameras. Well, I'm guessing that means we're at a standstill until Reg snaps out of it then. Here. How y'all been doing in here? Okay, I guess. Reg still hasn't moved all day. They won't take any food or drinks that anyone's tried to offer them. I'm not even sure if they've managed to sleep since Wally passed. Are Jean and Dakota still wandering around here? They were. They spent most of the afternoon trying to comfort Regs and playing with Leon. They left about an hour ago saying that they needed to get back over to Cross Stitch. I swear they think they're gonna be walking all the way back over there. Oh, don't worry. Frank called for a cab to come and pick them up. They also wanted me to tell you to let you know if we needed anything or if anything changes with Rags. Those two, I swear. Hey there, you little tart. How you been? Fussy, as per usual. I think he's starting to catch on to the fact that things aren't all right around here. It doesn't take very long for him to lose interest in us and want to go back over to Rags. Well, we'll give you a bit of a break for now. Walden, I can look after these two for the rest of the night. Okay, you, I can understand. But you... Forgive me for being skeptical, but I doubt his presence is going to be much help to Rags. I understand where you're coming from, Hattie, but I'm willing to cut him a little slack. He actually ain't been doing half bad since I got back. If he starts causing trouble, I'll be the one to handle it, alright? Well, as long as you're sure. I'll be in my dorm if you need me. Right then.
having a change of heart, are we, Kai?
Don't get it twisted here, Wallace. If you start causing problems around here, I still ain't coming to save your ass. But Curly, there ain't no need to keep on punishing you when you ain't even done anything. If anything, you're showing quite a bit of restraint. I knew you were itching to leap across the table to get at that worker back there. But instead, you punched a wall and removed yourself from the situation. I'd say that counts for something.
Well, don't get me wrong. I wanted to strangle every last person that had a hand in killing Wally. But
But
that isn't my choice to make. I'm not here to dish out the punishments. The only thing keeping me here is the slightest possibility that I'll be able to maintain whatever sort of connection I have left with my family.
see now, you're growing already.
Rags is still able to hear us, right?
Yeah, just a matter of them getting the strength to pull themselves out of the head is all.
Listen, Rags. I know I don't got a lot of room to talk when it comes to losing a partner, but I know this isn't what Walden would have wanted. He wouldn't want to see you shut down like this, locking yourself away. He'd want you to keep going, to find the bastards that did this, to make them pay for what they did, and to keep this factory going. You know, I used to think it was weird, always seeing a rainbow in the sky over the neighborhood all the damn time. But now, it's kind of weird not seeing it, even if it's only been for a few days. I'm sure it's a daunting thought, wondering how you're going to manage this place by yourself. I'm willing to teach you what I know, in terms of business and running a company. If you need it, that is. I won't intrude if you don't want me to.
Rexy, please say something. It's killing me seeing you like this. I know you're hurting. But that don't mean you gotta go through it alone.
Where are you going?
Out.
Huh. I was beginning to wonder when the floodgates were going to open.
Mordecai, you useless, no good. You shouldn't have left. Eggsy needed you, and you left. Why are you ever there for them when they fucking need you? You talk a lot of talk for someone who's always letting others down. You useless son of a...
Mordecai? What on earth are you doing?
Miss Partridge. It's nothing. I'm fine.
No, you're not, young man. Come here, let me see.
I ain't exactly youngin' anymore, Miss Partridge. And this? Just some scuffed up knuckles is all.
I see. And do you mind telling me why you were just punching the wall just now?
I'm just pissed with myself, that's all. Don't worry yourself about it.
Mordecai, if there's one thing you should know, it's that worrying about it is what I do. Come now. You don't always have to be the tough guy in this place.
I'm pissed at myself. I ain't ever there for Rags when they need me. Not when they were dipping out of the commune. Not when they were struggling to survive out in the woods. Not when they started spiraling after Walden's funeral. Even now I'm standing here talking to you when I should be in there trying to comfort them.
Mordecai, listen to me. You are one person. And right now, you're trying to shoulder far more than one person should manage. You're doing just fine, hon. Nothing about this is your fault. And I know Rags is grateful for everything you have managed to do so far. There's no need to try to be the superhero in this place. All you have to be is you.
Thank you, Miss Partridge. I needed that. And now I'm overdue for a therapy session with Jeannie, so...
It's fine, hon. They don't call me Mama Bird around here for nothing, you know.
I can't believe Mordecai. I mean, he seriously pulled you into interrogation? Is he going senile or something? How many times do we have to tell him? None of us would ever try to hurt Wally. Not you, not me. Hell, not even Howdy, admittedly. I mean, I get it. Out of all of us, I'd say Howdy and I had the most beef with the big guy. But you? Why would he think that you would try to do anything to him?
Frank, could I ask you something? What would you say if I said Mordecai was right? What if I did play some part in helping the workers take down Wally?
Oh, come on, babe. What is this, some kind of hypothetical? You wouldn't. You wouldn't, right? Right. Of course you wouldn't. What am I saying? But, seriously, you wouldn't, right?
I think I messed up, Frank.